Good to see everybody.
After AJ's touchdown run late in practice, you pulled the group together. Was there a message that you wanted to send to everybody?
Just making sure that we stay up off the ground. I think that's a big part of this time of the year is you want to get great competitive work, but you want to keep everybody safe. And so, I think we've got a lot of young guys out there right now, and everybody's got to learn how to practice together and, try to get the most out of it, but yet still maintain player safety, because I would be sick if you're sick anytime you see somebody go down. So I would hate to see that, especially at any time, but especially this time of the year.
How are you evaluating Jordan in these practices? What are you looking for from him?
Same thing we do every year with every other quarterback in terms of just the whole operation, the process, their ability to go out there and make great decisions, throw on time, throw with accuracy, so every play that is dissected, I would say, or looked at under a microscope, and trying to be super intentional about what we ask him to do. And certainly I think, and I know I've said it before, in terms of just we got to see what everybody else can do around him as well. And we mentioned we got some youth, and so it's going to be a work in progress, no doubt about it, throughout the course of OTAs and the training camp, and quite frankly throughout the course of the season. So, but the guys have had a great attitude, super optimistic about just the people that we have. The guys are into it. They love football. They're super attentive in the meeting rooms. That you can see there's some guys are a little bit further ahead than others, but that's just kind of the way it goes at this time of the year. And we're just going to keep on throwing stuff at them and try to really challenge them. I think one thing that we did that we haven't done in years past is we're having more call-it periods, which I'll tell you after a few days how I feel like that's going. I think that is a challenging thing, though, for young players, is to have unscripted periods, really in every phase.
Back to the young guys. Have you ever had this many young guys first time on the field?
Not that I can remember, but it's fun. It's exciting. There's talented guys, and it's our job to try to coach them up, and it's their job at night to try to stay up on this stuff. And certainly we've only got 2 installs in at this point on both sides of the ball, and there's a lot more offense and defense than that in our systems. So we got a long way to go, and we just got to continue to take it literally one day at a time and try to build up upon each practice. So, tomorrow we're going to go out there and what day is today? Tuesday? On Thursday, we're going to go out there and it'll be a review of practice 1 and 2, and then we'll move on to, next week.
One practice, and it would be probably irresponsible to make judgments off of one thing, but
Then don't do it, Rob. You're warning everybody else not to do it. I see. I agree. I totally agree with you, Rob.
After 2 practices, what do you think?
Jordan, we obviously didn't see yesterday.
I think there's a lot of good things and certainly a lot to clean up. I think anytime you go down, you guys got to see the day that we're primarily in the red zone. That usually is one of the most, as an offensive background, that's usually one of the more frustrating days for the offensive coaches, because I don't want to say there's no game planning, but there's not a lot of game planning. Like, you're throwing your concepts out there and trying to get a feel for just how the guys can manage the bad looks, and can they, execute the really good looks. And I think when you're talking about red zone offense or defense, quite frankly, there's a lot of game planning involved, and that just typically doesn't happen this time of the year.
Matt, just wondering your reaction to Green Bay getting the draft in 25.
Oh, I think that's awesome. I mean, what better place, in my opinion, than right here? And I think that's a big-time credit to Mark Murphy and the staff upstairs in terms of being able to get that done.
What does Jonathan Owens add to that mix of the guys you had at safety there for candidates?
Well, certainly he's got the experience. He's been in this league for a while, and he's got a pretty cool journey in terms of being a practice squad player for a couple of years. And then I want to say he led Houston in tackles a year ago. So he's got that experience. He's got a great attitude. I think he enjoys it here, and it's a competitive situation right now with that whole room.
Get it, this is one practice, and he's going against backups. What have you thought of Lucas Van Ness through 2 days? Because he was pretty active today.
Yeah, I think he's done a nice job, and certainly you can see the skill set that he possesses. I mean, he's a big, strong, fast guy that he's a worker, and that's all you can ask for. And we're going to keep on, putting more on his plate and see what he can handle and see how he, adapts and learns the speed and the techniques that you got to use at this level.
With the youth that you have, not only with Jordan, but all the pieces around him on that side, do you almost expect, maybe want to see more mistakes this time of year as these guys kind of test and push their boundaries and see where they're at?
I don't want to say more mistakes. Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of us, it's just human nature. You're going to learn more from your failures than you are your successes. And so I think that's just part of the process. And as long as you're not repeating those mistakes and you can see those incremental improvements, I think that's what we're looking for. And hopefully we get that each and every time we go out there. I don't know how you guys felt, but I felt like just overall the energy is there. Our guys are into it, and that's not always the case this time of the year. But I think that we have a lot of youth, and these guys are eager to show what they can do out there.
Jordan's what do you think of this new kickoff rule? Your kick returner's already said he doesn't know what a fair catch is, so do you think it'll impact how he does things more?
That's a great question. I don't know. I think time will tell. I know it's been part of the college game. Certainly, always looking for ways to make our players more safe, and apparently the injury data suggests that this was a necessity. I don't really want to get into my personal thoughts on the rule, but we'll adjust.
Jordan's been here for a few years now, learning the system, sitting behind Aaron, getting ready. Obviously, you've had a front row seat for all of it. What do you see from his preparation over the years that makes you feel confident that he's ready to take over the starting seat?
I just think the way he's matured as a man, the control that he has within the room, out on the field. I think that he maximized his opportunities these last couple of years in terms of just learning from one of the greatest to ever play this game. So I think he really took advantage of that, and certainly, it's never an easy spot to follow a guy like that, but I think he's got all the tools, and it's on us to try to help support him through the ebbs and flows that are sure to come. It just happens with the nature of that position, and try to get these other guys around him to play to the best of their abilities, so that he doesn't have to be perfect all the time.
Is Ryan working at center just for a look-see, or do you think that could end up maybe being his best position?
At this time of the year, we kind of experiment with a lot of these guys, but yeah, absolutely, he's a viable candidate to potentially be inside. We need more than one guy to snap, and we always want to try to train 3 or 4 guys to be able to get that done.
Matt, you talked about learning more from your failures. I'm curious, I know it's a big boy league and you're not here to coddle Jordan at all, but is there a balancing act for you to make sure that he gets all the work and looks and everything he needs to get acclimated, and also give him some opportunities during a practice to have success and to have stuff to build on? Is that a play calling and coaching balancing act for you?
I think you got to be mindful and aware of kind of where you're at, but at the same time, I think the more you can just put him in those situations. It's not like he's a true rookie, so he's seen a decent amount, especially being able to get in the majority of the snaps this time of the year, the last couple of years. So we're not necessarily coddling him in any sense of the word of that. Just in terms of we're just installing our plays, and whatever the defense presents, I mean, he's got to react. And if it gets out of hand one way or the other, then you can kind of adjust. But I think he's done a pretty good job up to this point.
Matt, you said you need a couple days to know what this call and stuff, but how different is that to be doing an install type of thing, but you're not scripting the plays? I mean, do you have to kind of make sure you get everything in that you want to? I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, and I would say the first couple installs have a lot of volume to them as well. So it's not necessarily the easiest on our guys, but you do get a true sense of kind of where they're at. And it's not like the first week that they're going through install 1 and install 2 as well. We've had a full week with all the rooks in phase 2. They got a little bit of it in the rookie mini camp. So it's not just their first exposure to it. I just want to kind of see how these guys think on their feet. And you can see with some of the younger groups, there was a little indecision in terms of getting in and out of the huddle, and that's part of the process.